The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist. With your host, Dave Hondel.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Stage Door Show tonight. Tonight's guest is an incredible gospel artist that's making some serious noise in the music business, and we're very happy to have him with us. Please welcome to the show, Reverend Frank Bostic.
Hey, man, God bless. Thank you so much for having me, Dave.
Can't wait to get into some of your music here because it's been exciting. I've been listening to a lot of it, and over the past 7 years, you've led the Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church in Buffalo, New York. I want to start out with this because obviously we're in a tough time right now with COVID-19, and how has that affected you and your ministry? Because we all need faith right now and some inspiration now more than ever. So why don't you tell me about that and how you guys are coming along with the COVID-19?
Few things, Dave. I think just like the rest of our country, we all have been impacted some way, somehow. For us, the church, we've been impacted by not being able to gather, and that's serious. We're a Black African-American church where gathering and hug and kissing is kiss on the cheek, and that is a major in our religion, in our worship service, and we haven't been able to do that. So it seems that we're out of touch. People are at home. They're alone when they could take that Wednesday night, that Sunday night, and come and just be around other people. We haven't been able to do that. Financially, just like everyone else in the country, our tithes, our offering, our giving is down. Not so much because the people don't want to give, but we just haven't been able to. We have other struggles, and we thank God for a great team at the church who managed our finances well to try to get us through this storm. But COVID has impacted us greatly. As you know, over 218,000 lives have been lost in the United States of America, and right here in Western New York, we've lost over 564 people. My church has not been greatly impacted, but I lost my mom in April, not to COVID, but what COVID has done for that was I wasn't able to see her in her last days alive because we could not visit the hospital, go in the hospital room in ICU or even in the nursing home where she wound up, having her last breath and passing, what I say, absent from the body and present with the Lord. So this time period is hard and rough on everyone, but I beg everyone to stay encouraged because weeping only endures for a night, and I believe that joy is coming in the morning soon, and I think morning time is coming soon for us all.
Well, I'm so sorry for your loss, Reverend, and I know you like so many others out there, like you said, 218,000 people have unfortunately passed. But again, even if it's not COVID, you're not able to spend the last moments with your family. So again, our thoughts go out to you and your family.
Yeah.
So, but I also want to talk about your musical journey because now, obviously, with COVID, I think we all need faith and inspiration now more than ever. So, why don't you talk about your musical journey? And so how did you get into music, and was that guided by your faith?
Let me say, great question, Dave. My musical journey started when I was very young. I liked old school music. I liked it, the OJs. I liked it, Al Green. I loved to listen to music like that. And as I got older, I got into the R&B, not so much as a singer, but one who loved to sing in the privacy of my own home or in the bathroom, in the shower. And then I had always dreamed one day singing in the church. And that was something I wanted to do. I always wanted to sing in the church. If I ever was going to sing, I wanted to sing a church song. And this time with my musical journey here was about 10 years ago. I had this song laid on my heart. My friend had a studio And we went to the studio, and I was just playing around, and all of a sudden, me playing around, this song just started coming together, and I just got excited. And so I wanted to sing, not for popularity. I didn't want to sing for everyone to know me. I wanted to sing a song that would encourage me first. And I felt as if I can encourage myself, certainly a song would encourage the multitudes of people who music can at times calm the savage beast. And so I just wanted to sing and give praises to God. My faith, of course, played a major part in that, but I think what played a bigger part was my beginnings as an adult life, the struggles, the challenges, the ups, the downs, the mistakes. I think music played the part because I can get off my chest what I was feeling in a musical kind of way and ask God for forgiveness. And it just wasn't the traditional type of song but I just wanted to sing and give God glory and use the talent that I was surprised he gave me.
And talk about gospel music, Reverend, because, I think, some young people growing up, I don't think they're exposed enough to gospel music, especially musicians who play music. But I think that, unless you really study music, you'd be surprised to know that gospel music is really where it all began, hundreds of years ago. So talk about gospel music and the importance of gospel music in the music industry itself.
Gospel music is very important. I think the music itself, lyrics play a major part of the direction and the destiny of someone. Music plays a major part. Hearing lyrics over and over, that would be encouraging. But when we come to gospel music, the gospel music is a music of hope. It's a music of morality. It's a music that whenever I'm feeling discouraged, I can be encouraged by it, knowing that there's a greater power, a higher power, that can soothe me, that can give me hope, that can say, put a smile back on my face, but also say that everything is going to be all right. That, that gospel music was a music of pain that we couldn't tell the world, but it was a music of pain that we could tell God. It was a music of pain that we could tell God, sing to God, but yet even in the music, respond to our own selves by the lyrics of the song. Like I said, that would give us hope to say everything is going to be all right. And that's what gospel music does for us. It keeps us excited to live. It keeps us excited to treat people in a way we want to be treated. It allows for youth to hear a message and not just hear a message of what I would say the struggle in our community, but it could give us a message of the hope that's in our community by faith. The substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. It gives us hope, and that's gospel music ought to give us hope. It ought to enlighten and brighten up our day. It ought to make us cry sometime, but it also ought to make us smile with joy and appreciation that no matter what state we find ourselves in, that we still have some hope. Let me say this, because we talked about older, that traditional. My band, the KBS band, no one in our band is over 24 years old. And so the reasoning for that was that I wanted them to feel what I felt. I wanted them to hear lyrics early on of hope. And I have nothing against rap, the hip-hop. I think it has its place. But I think our focus ought to be on hope and not disparity of a community.
Oh, that's well said. No, I'm glad you mentioned that, and especially like you said, that the younger musicians coming up, the fact that you're exposing them to positive, gospel music. I think that's tremendous, and so kudos to you for that. Reverend, you have new music I want to talk about. Keep Jesus First is your project. And I want to mention this, but it's available now on all digital download sites, and it's also supported by a great music video on YouTube. It's also the project is also up for a Grammy Award consideration for Best Gospel Performance, Best Gospel Song, and Best Spoken Word or Sermon categories. So wow, that's amazing. Tell us about that project.
He gave me, encouraged me. I was a little shy about putting it out, and he encouraged us, to look, Frank, put the song out. Talent Room Entertainment, we're going to do whatever we need to do for people to hear it. And that's what it was about, Dave, getting people to hear the song, getting those lyrics into the ears of and the timing, hey, that was all in God's hands.
And that's amazing, and also not only the accolades that we've talked about already with that song and that project, but also it's been in the top 20 at WUFO Radio there in Buffalo, which is a very popular radio station. It's been around for a long time. That's got to be exciting to you as well.
Very exciting. We're AM and AM and a FM band. It is and listen to this, Dave, the owner of the radio station is a lady named Miss Sheila Brown here in Buffalo, New York, 96.5 FM, who is doing a tremendous job in the radio industry with all of the adversity against her. And I mean, the radio station, it blew up, and they took a chance on getting and playing my music. And, oh my God, in July, some of the people listeners may know Anthony Hamilton and Chris Brown. Well, we beat them out in July for that week. And I mean, I was like, wow, those were major names in the music industry. And so the gospel song, Dave, even though it's gospel, I wanted it to go mainstream. We wanted to hear it mainstream. So the rhythm of the song is kind of R&B-ish, and it's very, very catchy.
No matter how far woke up this morning, everything is fine. Didn't have a worry, Jesus was on my mind. Troubles all behind me, life is going well. One thing I don't wanna do is to live without Him. I'm struggling, I'm trying to live life without Him. So hold on, don't give up, be strong. So do your best and live for the Lord. It's so sweet. One thing I know that I press to see. I know. Keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go. Keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go. Keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go. Keep Jesus first. As I lay myself down to sleep, I pray to the Lord, my soul He'll keep. And I know that the devil can't sneak. I made a promise unto the Lord, and His commandments I'll keep. Some tears to shed, some sufferings had to bear. Lord, one thing I know, I can always trust in Him. Don't have no cares, don't have no fear. Jesus is the one that covers me. Yeah. Keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go, keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go, keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go, the very end. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, you're my friend. Oh, no matter how far I go, I'll keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go, if I make it to the top, no matter how far I go, keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go, no matter how far I go, yeah, keep Jesus first. Oh yeah, no matter how far I go, yeah, keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go, keep Jesus first. No matter how far I go, keep Jesus first.
And there's a remix coming. I'm not sure if I should have said that, but surprisingly, like I said, Glenn Jones will be on that remix, that extended version of it, along with a jazz sound to it. So, I mean, that song was sent by God, and that's exactly what I believe. And again, I thank 96.5 WUFO, Miss Sheila Brown, and that organization here in Western New York, for playing the song, for giving the song a chance. And I'm praying other radio stations will catch on and play it all across this country.
All right, so let's talk about that, Reverend, because I'm a big proponent of radio. I love radio. I think that there's always a place for radio. I thank God that there's great people still in radio, and that radio is still living out there. So I just want to encourage all of our listeners to turn on that radio and listen to some of the great work that the program directors and DJs and these people back in the day were the reason why people had a name, really got a name. It was, playing, spinning those vinyl records, and if they didn't play it, nobody heard it. So I think that there's always should be a place for radio. And, what are your thoughts on that? Because I think we're both in the same mindset that radio has got to stay strong, right?
Yeah, I so agree with you. Radio is what I should say. It's like baseball. It is the American way. It is the way. It is where we got our information from. It is where music got played and shared. Radio is needed and certainly necessary. And I'm so grateful for the radio stations to get a chance to play. There's something about downloading is fine. These streams are fine, but Dave, there's nothing like the energy of a DJ or an MC who comes on that radio to say certain things about a song that sometimes we just don't get unless it's brought out into the light. So radio is needed, is necessary. I'm like on your show right now. I'm so, Dave, let me say this. I'm so excited to be talking to you. I'm like holding back. But I am just so excited for the opportunity to talk to you because people are still listening. We have well over 500,000 listeners in Western New York to radio, whatever station it is. But even right on 96.5 FM, we know they probably have over 100,000 or so listeners in our city of Buffalo every day. And the number's probably bigger than that because Toronto, of course, Canada. But radio has been the identifier, the heart of some songs, and that's because of great DJs, great MCs who knew what to say to encourage the listener to listen even more intently.
Now, Reverend, this is normally the part of the show where I would ask my guests to give advice to our indie artist listeners out there. But if you would, Reverend, I'd like you to speak directly to my listeners and give them a word of encouragement because these times are tough, and coming from you, it would really mean a lot.
Amen. Listen, even to the indie artists and the people who are putting music together, let me say it this way. Put music together that you love. Do it inspirationally. Pray before you write. Pray before you perform it. Pray before you sing it. And do it if nobody gave you a dime. Do it with the same impact and encouragement and the same excitement and vigor that you would do as if someone gave you $1 million. But also, as you are doing it and you want to be a national recording artist or national recording star, surround yourself, listen to this, surround yourself with people of godly attitudes and belief. Godly, for me, is Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Surround people who love your music. Surround yourself with people with talents, with energy to say, let's do whatever we can to get this music out to the world, and stay encouraged. Never give up. We hear that all the time, but that's the truth. The fact is, never give up. Keep pushing. Call your radio stations. Tell them you have a song. Read up on music. Read up on licensing and publishing. Read all that stuff yourself. Read up on even managing yourself. But again, for me, it's to surround yourself by godly people who don't want to do anything but encourage you and support your vision. And I think at the end of the day, you would be proud of yourself. You would not have any, I wish I had did this, wish I had did that. You would be so encouraged to know the work you put in is now being shown. But also keep Jesus first. Pray on everything you do. Pray on every lyric you make and say, and then watch God bloom in your life.
Oh, thank you so much. That's incredible. I appreciate that. And, Reverend, to that end, surrounding yourself with the right people, I think that's one of the things that everybody that I have on the show mentions during that piece of my show, where I think if you have the wrong people, it could be one person in the group that's the wrong person that could really ruin a career. And so I think that you have to have the right people, and like you said, just have faith, keep the faith, and and sometimes it's a slow burn. Sometimes we have artists that get discouraged and feel if it doesn't happen right now, right today, it's not that it'll never happen. Well, sometimes it takes years, sometimes for that to flourish, and I think God knows the right time for it to happen, right?
Yes. Let me just say this real fast. Having the right people with you, behind you, beside you, and even those who went before you is so major, Dave. I mean, you can imagine it is so major for one's career, whether it be professionally or a career and hobby. You have to have the people who have a spirit for what you're doing, and the people who don't see, and this is going to drop them, who don't see dollar signs, but see a vision bigger than the dollar signs. I just heard Dave Chappelle say the other day, if you're doing it for money, and I paraphrase, then you'll be disappointed. But if you're doing it because you love it, the money will come. And I would say to any artist, Dave, to do it because they love to do it. Because it could take time, it could take years, or it could happen overnight. But do it because you love to do it. Do it because you want to do it. You're encouraged to do it. And once that's in your spirit and heart, I think you'll be fine. I've been blessed. I'm grateful. I have a great team with me, in front of me, beside me, and behind me. No bragging, because every team has its issues, but overall, I have been blessed because of that formula.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, now this is normally when we talk about merchandising, it's to advertise the artist or whatever, but in this case, keep Jesus first. I mean, this is great. This is a great marketing for merchandising, but it's a positive message. And talk about some of the stuff that you have on your merchandising, which I believe you can get at RevFrankBostic.com. We'll talk about that in a minute, but talk about some of the merchandising that you have out there.
They can get our merchandise briefly from RevFrankBostic.com or KeepJesusFirst.com or Talent Room Entertainment, or they can go to Pilgrim Baptist Church, BUFLO.org, and we have the face masks, of course, for the time, sweatshirts. If you live in a climate like Buffalo, New York, a couple of days ago it was 79 degrees. Today is 46 degrees. We have the sweatshirts that will, you'll be able to put on. It's not so much, Dave, the hats we have. It's not so much the face mask. It's not so much the sweatshirt or the T-shirts or even the wristbands we're going to have and socks. But it's the message. It's the message. I want that message. I'm begging. I will beseech all of them to the merchandise for the message. Help me. Help this ministry. Help us spread the message of keeping Jesus first. And that's what this material represents. Keeping Jesus first. Our ball caps, our sweatshirts, our T-shirts, our face mask, and socks is coming. And we're working with even the guys with the sweatpants. Our marketing guy that's going to help us out there. So when they work out, that push and, keeping Jesus first even as we work out. So that is, what we have, and they can get the stuff on our CDs. We do understand they really use CDs anymore, but the CDs, which I would sign, that'll again help us to get the message out. Or again, go to talentroomentertainment.com. Brother Prince Levy and Miss Marianne, two tremendous people. They're part of that team that we were talking about earlier. We will make sure that we get, the material to you, and as fast. They've been pretty fast. So even in the time of COVID, we've been able to ship stuff out right away. But again, Dave, it's the message. It's the message that we want to get out there on our T-shirts, our sweatshirts, and we have them in black and red is really our colors. Red represents the blood of Jesus Christ. The white T-shirts represents the purity of Christ, and the black that we wear just simply represents a state of being without the red and white.
Yeah, that's tremendous. We want all the true Reverend Frank Bostic followers to visit RevFrankBostic.com, and I also want everybody to visit, which I know Reverend mentioned a little while ago, but Talent Room ENT, TalentRoomENT.com, to see not only your part of the site, but also the other artists that are on the roster of the incredible talent group there. So yeah, definitely want to mention that, and also I want to bring this up as well. But your social media for your church, wonderful church there. The Facebook is Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church of Buffalo, New York, and your YouTube is also Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church in Buffalo, New York. So make sure when you guys go on to these social media sites, you search that, and you'll see all the great material and content that they have on there. So first of all, Reverend, I just think you're a tremendous person. I can't wait to see what else is coming out from you, and also, I just want you to give your best from me and the Stage Door Show to your missionary and to your family, again, for your tremendous loss that you had here at the beginning of the year, and just let's all keep the faith, and we're going to get through this, and it's going to be a tough winter, but I think we're going to get through it without hopefully too many more deaths, because I think it's a terrible thing that's going on right now, but we just got to keep praying, right?
Yes, and Dave, let me say to you, thank you and Stage Door for this opportunity. Early on in the year, you're going to laugh. Earlier this year, you and iHeartRadio, it came up, And it was like, we'll never be able to get on there. And, you know, it was like, you can't reach, you know, Sage Door, you know, they're doing artists and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I can't reach on there. And then when they gave me this message the other day, you know, Dave Hondel, thank you, man. Thank, you know, the Sage Door. Thank you, you know, your supporters and your listeners. I don't know how to say how grateful I am. Thank you just don't seem big enough, but thank you so very much. And I want to thank Pilgrim Baptist Church, my church members. We are a church located in Buffalo, as you said. But one thing, Dave, we're on the thoroughway of the Underground Railroad, where Harriet Tubman had brought the slaves through. Actually, where we sit was the land where the bounty hunters once stood, trying to catch slaves on their way to Canada. And so our church has rich history. The members are great members of our church. We're close to 1,000 members. It's a great church, a big church. And again, we can't wait to get back. Church will never be the same, Dave, but we can't wait to get back to the gathering of worship and praising God together and being able to hold hands. I think God is just passing through right now for us to realize the importance of the gathering, the importance of not being alone in these lonely times. And I think he just gave us a wake-up call. And I believe we're going to be all right. And, oh, yeah, Dave, tell them don't forget to vote.
Absolutely. Everybody's got to get out there and vote. And if you haven't done so already, make sure November 3rd you get out to the polls and vote. And, you know, Reverend, I have friends in Buffalo, and when I visit them next time, I would love to come and visit you as well and come and see your beautiful church. So, again, you know, thank you so much, Reverend, for joining us tonight. And it's been our extreme pleasure to have you on, and best of luck to you and your project and to your parishioners in the future here. And you know, we're all praying for everybody out there. So again, thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you, Dave. And God bless you and your family, and certainly, you know, the radio, iHeartRadio, and Stage Door, and certainly you, man. Thank you.
Be strong. So do your best and live for the Lord. It's so sweet. One thing I know that I press to see. I know